headed to First Man.
Do you know if our theater's upstairs or down here?
It's definitely here.
Okay. Let's go.
So have you ever been to this theater before?
Yeah, I think twice, 2 times, 3 times.
It's pretty epic.
Yeah.
These little singing room booths at the movie theater, in case you want to sing a couple songs while you're here.
That's where we're at.
All right.
Yeah.
There's 17, First Man. We got to get in. It's starting. Whew.
All right, me and Tyler just got out of watching
First Man.
First Man. Immediate thoughts. What'd you think?
Didn't have my coffee going in, so that is a disclaimer. But
yeah, those seats were way too comfortable.
Seats were super comfortable, but honestly, I was a little bit sleepy through this movie, and I love the subject matter. I love the director's first film, Whiplash. Pretty much, I really liked La La Land, so this movie is very calm and mellow, and I think that has to do with the main character, Neil Armstrong, played by Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, what'd you think about his performance?
If you like the movie Drive, he's back. Neil Armstrong.
He was definitely channeling his inner driver, I felt like. But I don't know if that was like an intentional choice, because he seemed very like emotionally distant the whole time.
I definitely think there are arguments for the distance that he showed because of his daughter at the very beginning and everything. Everything that we've seen, you know, with astronauts in other movies, they're always super professional. They're never going to lose their cool, because that would be so outside of their character profile to be selected. So understandable, know that going in. It's a little subdued all the way through. There's some emotional points. I don't know. I thought it was super awesome when the Apollo 11 started going off. Before that, though, didn't love the music choice. But after everything after.
Oh, you didn't like the music choices?
I didn't like the music choice pre-Apollo 11 launch. Post-Apollo 11 launch, loved it all.
Well, what'd you think of like the space, like the technical elements, like all the space stuff?
Oh man,
and all
that's
like
awesome.
the training stuff, yeah, right?
Space stuff was really cool, and it was exactly what I hoped for. Just it seemed so accurate, and it was almost too quiet, because you know we heard, you know, in space no one hears you scream.
Yeah.
We're hearing, you know, audience members farting and coughing and just chairs squeaking, so I didn't like that. Yeah, I felt like I was on the moon, dude. And there was a lot less mission control room than I thought there would be. I think like most of it was, you know, like in Apollo 13, a lot of it's from mission control, and you see the stress on everybody's face.
Right, you see it cut back and forth between space and mission control, right?
This, we pretty much hear mission control all coming through the radio, and we're in the cockpit with the astronauts. So that was cool.
Yeah, there was that one scene where the spaceship goes out of control and it keeps spinning. It keeps on spinning.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, that was. I was actually getting nauseous just from watching that. So like, I think they did a good job of sort of like simulating the doom of that situation.
And I know how intense this moment was for the world and for all the people involved, and I got a sense of that, but it wasn't as grand as I was hoping for overall. This theater's awesome, by the way. It's huge, remodeled. Look at that, there's usually a huge poster there. It changes. That's a digital poster. Yeah, it's gotta be. Yep, it's changing. Yeah. Let's see what that loads to. Yep, new poster. So, James, what did you think? First Man.
Well, I'm kind of on the same, feeling the same way that you are. Like, I liked it. I liked the movie a lot. I think I enjoyed this movie more for its technical elements than, because I really enjoyed all the space stuff, and I thought some of those scenes were really breathtaking. I think probably some of the best space scenes that I've seen in probably ever. So all that stuff was amazing, but I just don't know, I don't know, I feel like it should have resonated with me a bit more emotionally, and I don't know what it is about this movie that's kind of not sort of preventing me from saying that I loved it, because I went in expecting to love it, just because Damien Chazelle, I loved Whiplash, I enjoyed La La Land a lot too, especially considering that I don't like musicals. So, I mean, this is such an important moment in U.S. history, right? Or just the history of the world in general. I was just, because I was already expecting them to focus more on Neil Armstrong, the man, and his family, and So yeah, I guess that's why I was expecting it to, touch me more on an emotional level. I don't know if I connected with the characters as much, and I don't know if that's because this is like a literal interpretation of who Neil Armstrong was, because apparently he was notoriously really stoic and emotionless. So if this was Ryan Gosling's literal interpretation of Neil Armstrong the person, I guess he did a good job, because he's very it's a very understated performance to say the least. I just don't know if it's going to resonate with audiences as much, because I feel like there's a bit of an emotional distance between the characters and the audience, and the stakes are real, obviously, the stakes are high and the stakes are real, but I wanted to feel it more, I guess, I mean, the wife, she played by Claire Foy, I thought she was really good. I mean, she was the most emotional character throughout the whole movie, so yeah. I don't know, maybe that's why I thought her performance stood out.
And I know that this was based on a book, and it kind of feels like they filmed from the page.
Is it based on a book?
That's what it said in the credits. It's based on a book. So, in some senses I felt like it was just more of a dramatic recreation of the scenes in the book. And I get a sense sometimes that they take the dialogue from the book, which works when you read it, but if you actually say that sentence out loud, it doesn't sound that natural to me. And maybe it's the times and setting that this movie took place in, but it just sounded like they were kind of reading from the page in a lot of the dialogue.
So you think this might have been too much of a literal interpretation of the actual events?
Yeah. For me, I would say definitely. I think it was a little too straightforward. I wanted at least one scene that kind of went into the director's, artistic visual flair mode. Something visually unique.
Right.
That gave the director's stamp, sort of seal. And it didn't have that, so I didn't feel like, oh, this is a Damien Chazelle movie. It didn't feel like that. I felt like this is a very solid movie about Neil Armstrong's life, the effect that mission had on a little bit of the world. They do touch on that, but more on the families and the people that were involved. So I'm satisfied. Don't think I'm going to buy this one when it comes out, though.
How pro-American did you feel like this movie was?
I felt like it was just, telling the story. It happened in America. Americans did it. I don't think it was so grandiose, American, chest-pounding type material.
Yeah, because you heard about this dumb controversy surrounding this movie's release, about it being un-American because they don't show the planting of the flag.
Yeah, see, I don't understand that complaint, because this movie was very American for me. It was just about American people. It's an American story. There was several shots. One shot of the kid, the son, putting up the flag at their house, and it really showed the American flag and all of its glory. And then they did have the establishing shot of the flag on the moon, so yeah, worked for me. So yeah, First Man. Curious what you guys think about this movie too. Might rewatch it. Like I said, I did not have caffeine going into this movie. I think this movie requires caffeine so you can really sit back and sort of get in with the characters. It was kind of hard to wake me up for that. Just didn't have a lot of intensity until the end.